Silently seduced suggests that there are two main types of families that result in emotional incest between the parent and the child. One they call alcoholic families, and the other they just call dysfunctional families. It gives examples of each, and I think that they really help paint a picture. So I think I'll do two videos. This one is the alcoholic video. Anne is a 36-year-old professional and mother of two children. On the surface, she always seemed happy and to have everything going for her. When her marriage began to collapse, she entered therapy and support groups for adult children of alcoholics. Anne described growing up in her alcoholic family. My mother was the alcoholic in my life. I was the oldest of four children and always had the duties of taking care of my brothers and my sisters, the house, and my dad. I resented my mother for this. But my dad praised me so much and gave me so much special attention for being the little mother around the house for him that I eventually didn't seem to mind my mother's alcoholism. Dad would always let me sit in his lap at night for being his girl. He would comb my hair and do special things for me. Something didn't feel quite right about it, but it was the only attention that I got. As an adult, I seemed to have everything going for me and I felt in control. But my husband confronted me one day and said he was dissatisfied with my difficulties in being intimate with him. He demanded changes or that he would be getting a divorce. I was stunned. That's when I discovered that growing up in an alcoholic family affected my ability to be intimate. I figured if I had dealt with my feelings and issues about my mother, then things would be fine. Well, I did deal with things for her, but things weren't fine. I came to realize that all the special attention from my dad was really the source of pain and the real culprit behind my difficulty being closer to my husband. Now that I've really stopped to look, I have lived my life for him. I chose my husband because I thought my father would approve of him. The career and family I built were intended to win my father's admiration and love. Even as an adult, I went to him with intimate details of my life, which he invited. God, I began to feel icky all over again. I was scared and guilt-ridden. I knew I had to stop being daddy's girl if I was going to save myself and save my marriage. It was the most difficult decision I ever had to make about life, separating from the man who had been the only source of comfort while I was growing up. Yet, it was also the most freeing decision I ever made. There are an estimated 28 million children of alcoholic parents in this country, according to the National Association for Children of Alcoholics. Of that group, many have played the role of a parent's partner to fill in for the emotionally or physically absent alcoholic. These are the ones who as adults appear to have it all together to be organized. They are often high-achieving, in control, successful, and giving. They're also the ones who struggle intensely with feeling undeserving or incapable of intimacy. This pain and struggle is often hidden behind a mask of competency and proficiency in helping others. These are the roles which develop in all families during times of stress as the system tries to bring itself back into balance. In the alcoholic family, the children chronically get stuck in the roles unless there is recovery of both the alcoholic and the co-aholic, meaning the partner of the alcoholic. Alcoholism is a progressive disease process whereby the alcoholic over time becomes more and more attached to the bottle. Someone whose attachment to the bottle cannot be emotionally attached to the partner. The vacancy created by the progressing disease makes room for a surrogate spouse. The hero or responsible child fills this space through no choice of his or her own. The child is compelled to play the surrogate partner because it is a gratifying source of self-worth in a family with little worth to share. I'm skipping down a bit, but at meetings, adult children support groups sometimes have their own unspoken rules which blame the alcoholic for the pain and continue to idealize and revere the co-alcoholic for all the sacrifices offered during the adult child's growing up years. Out of their own desperation to fill up personal emptiness, heroes or responsible adult children who have been covert incest victims perpetuate the pain by abiding to the family rule. Don't talk, feel, or trust. One of the more difficult tasks for heroes or responsible adult children is to take themselves off the idealized privilege pedestal they were given by. That position represents being loved for what you can provide for your parent, not for who you are. Heroes or responsible adult children who suffered covert incest actually have been emotionally abandoned and sexually violated. Their personhood, meaning their feelings and their sexuality, has been objectified or used as the purpose for another, leaving them emotionally and sexually scarred. For them, the struggle is not primarily with the alcoholic, but with the co-alcoholic. The characteristics and patterns of the alcoholic family also hold true when a parent is addicted to drugs, to food, to sex, to shopping, spending, gambling, or work. Like the alcoholic, the parent of any addiction is emotionally absent due to the addiction. The potential for covert incest exists as a result. A chronically ill parent produces the same potential. A parent who rigidly holds on to rules dictated by a religion or ethnic tradition also becomes emotionally absent. The emotional absence occurs because the parent is more interested in upholding moral principles of the religion or the rituals and rites of the ethnic background than in being human. Covert incest is a possibility in any family in which there is a chronic void in the marriage relationship.